Now, W.N. Bilbo, quite a character, but doesn't really show up, doesn't show up at all in Team of Rivals, the book which the movie is based on. Not really an historically well-known figure. What was it like you have to create the role? What was it like to get into that?
There was a certain limited amount of archival material available about him, mainly correspondence between Secretary Seward and he during the time of these events, and a little bit of background stuff, but we had no pictures of him and not a great deal of background about him, which was perfect for me because it really meant that we were able to sort of fly in any direction we wanted to, and did.
with great success, and everyone seems to love it. This movie gets into the workings of Congress, which at that time, that was heated. I mean, those guys did not like each other. We talk a lot about the partisan divide right now, but it's like nothing.
Yeah, but it was very different then. I mean, in that the divides were within parties, too. I mean, there really wasn't, the aisle did not sort of define the delineation between the two sides of an argument on any issue. It was divided within the parties. The Republican Party had liberal factions and very conservative factions, and the Democratic Party had very liberal factions and conservative factions. So you not only were contending with people across the aisle, you also were, there was tremendous argument and discourse within your own party, which in a way I think felt even more democratic, because argument and discourse and eventual compromise is the best that a democracy can be, and issues and legislation weren't just divided by party line.
So obviously the film deals with very serious subjects, the 13th Amendment, the existence and the abolition of slavery altogether. Not a lot of laughs on those subjects, obviously, but your character is one of the lighter ones. Serious, but also light.
Although I must say, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis, who is stunning as Lincoln in this film, really, and Tony Kushner and Steven Spielberg all quite pointedly tried to mine as much of his
humor
personality.
And
yeah, he was a great raconteur, you know, and would seemingly tell stories or you know, fairly bawdy jokes that at times it might seem inappropriate, but in the end of the day, I think they were sort of lightening his load at a tumultuous time for him personally, and obviously politically.
Your character, though, you look like you're having a blast.
I had a blast on this film. I did. It was so much fun making the picture, and then when I saw it, I so enjoyed the film. But I really, I think, you know, we were shooting it, the events that are depicted in the film are a very, very short period of time, just a few weeks in January of 1865. And we were shooting it in a very short period of time. I think the film schedule was about 10 weeks or something. For such a massive film, it was a very, very quick schedule. And I think the scenes with W.N. Bilbo that my participation in the film was not only for myself having a lot of fun, I think for everyone involved, it was a bit of breath of fresh air from the rest of the intensity of shooting the picture.
And it is an intense film. Last question here.
I did have to pull Stephen aside after we'd shot a couple of scenes, and I said, Stephen, tell me that I'm at least making the same film that everyone else is making down here in Richmond. I want to make sure that mine isn't in tone an entirely different animal from the rest of it.
And he said?
And he said, no, he said, absolutely, keep going, full speed ahead.
Well, James Spader, you were fantastic in the film with the character no one's ever seen before on screen. Daniel Day-Lewis is Lincoln. Man, what was he like to be with?
Just lovely, absolutely.
Did you think you were with Lincoln? I mean, it was...
He really, you know, Lincoln was an exceptionally accessible president, and would engage and love to engage, and had a real appreciation for people and irreverence himself. And Daniel opened his heart in the same way that from what history has told us, Lincoln did as well with people, whether it's a telegraph operator or a man in the street or a soldier in the aftermath of a battle or members of his cabinet. He shared so generously of himself, and Daniel was that as well.
Thinking of banking in Africa? Think Zenith. Zenith Bank